Just camera, me, either or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, that's the important one. Always make sure you're looking at that one.
You're weirding me out.
Oh, it's not myself beside you. Me, camera, wherever's
Okay.
I guess. It's no big deal. Dollyrots.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally. Well, I was going to say, finally, we saw you not that long ago with Bowling for Soup.
Yeah. It feels
Yeah.
like it was really like 2 months ago.
It feels like
Turns
it was
out
very
it was
recent.
last year.
It was last year, so,
So,
it was
yeah.
6 months.
But it was in the spring.
It was May. It
As
was
long
May.
as that was
It's been almost a year,
Yeah.
but it feels like
It
much
feels
less.
like it just went by.
His
really
time's just
fast.
going faster and faster.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about children. I'll get back to yours
Oh,
shortly.
Yeah.
That was my daughter's first ever gig.
No
It was a
way.
concert.
Really?
And she loved it.
That's
Nice.
awesome. Good.
Very cool.
Good.
What show did you go to?
Glasgow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, right on. That was night.
That was a good one.
Night 2.
Two.
Right.
It was quite early on the tour before.
We were almost ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you did. You were right.
It takes a little while to get in the groove, you know. Like the first night is always doesn't matter what scale of tour. I mean,
It doesn't matter what.
You could be like playing
Yeah.
like a punk rock venue tour. You could be playing like big venue
A
tour.
big tour.
The first night is always
It's
a total
always just
cluster.
wild.
You know, like
Yeah.
no matter on any level.
Which honestly, I would love to go to the first show of any band that I like because it's gonna be like real.
It'll
like,
be
and
unique, for
weird,
sure.
and yeah.
We'll go to the first show and then go to the last show.
Yes,
That's
the last show's
the last
the
show
best.
is gonna be like cool in a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Bowling for Soup tour, just going back to that one, the last show was kind of special.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, the last date of that tour wasn't the best necessarily. It was
Why?
pretty awesome, but Gary wasn't there.
Well,
Yeah.
Gary wasn't there, but you
Yeah.
know, I think everyone figured out a way to kind of elevate the situation.
Yeah.
We're all professionals. We've all done this like
Yeah, I was like,
literally
all right, I'm gonna play bass.
thousands of times. So like, yeah, like so like Kelly went up and played bass,
Mm.
and then you know different people filled in on drums.
I mean, I guess we should
things like
explain that we were on tour with Bowling for Soup, and the drummer got ill and had
Yeah.
to go home to the States, and we still had 5 shows
But
left.
the show must go on.
But the show went
Yeah.
on.
you know,
Like,
and
we didn't-
That's kind of
Yeah.
the moral of the story. Like,
And all 3 bands just worked together to make it work, and it was really special and cool in a lot of ways.
yeah,
And Gary's okay, so now it's fine.
yeah,
That's important.
Yeah.
yeah. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't many tours I can think of where that would have happened. And I think something comes down to this kind of Bowling for Soup.
Something
family
happens and then
Yeah.
the tour stops. Like usually, but that would never happen.
Well, no, it would
Yeah.
never happen with all of us together.
No.
Like, we've all like we
and
started.
even Lit, that was the first time we had met Lit, and they're such a great fit. Like I didn't know them. I knew their music, but I was kind of nervous because
well, they're also
we just know their
super-
persona. You
They're
know?
super sweet.
They're
dudes,
the
you know?
sweetest, kindest guys. Like it,
Yeah.
it was really, really great getting to know them, and I mean they stepped up and helped out, and they let us play their gear too.
Yeah, yeah.
We're so like old school. The Bowling for Soup plays Kempers now, which are like digital guitar like modelers. It's not like an old fashioned amp.
software emulation.
Yeah, it's like they're playing computers, guys.
You know what I
They're
mean?
playing computers,
Yeah.
which sounds great for
Well,
them,
but
but I
that's
just
like
can't get used to it.
Most bands now play
Yeah.
like play.
I mean, the bands
software.
tonight are playing them.
Yeah, and
But we just
the
just
I think
can't get used
out
to it.
front it sounds like a guitar amp.
yeah.
But to us, having played guitar amps like basically at this point our whole lives, we're
Yeah.
like, it doesn't really sound
It's like
like a
too-
guitar amp all the way.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's also like a little too precise. You know,
Yeah.
like it picks up every single thing, and like I play bass like an ape. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't need all the tiny little like string bumps to be amplified.
yeah.
And when I play like a tube amp, it like softens a lot of that extra crap that happens. And when I play a Kemper, it's like everything,
It's like-
and it sounds like crap.
It's like taking
Right.
a photo.
You know what
and
Simon
turning,
said today?
And turning like the sharpness all the way up.
He said it's
Sometimes-
watching an old film that you loved in HD.
Right. Yeah.
It's like so clear and precise.
it turns into like a telenovela.
Doesn't work for the Dollyrots. I don't like it.
We like all our stuff fuzzy and soft.
Well, soft.
It's not punk rock enough.
It just feels
I don't
weird.
know.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
the world is harsh enough. Like I just need less
Yeah.
harshness in my life.
Yeah.
I don't even wear contacts because I want my vision to be slightly softened.
I don't understand that. I
It's
do
like-
take mine out for sure
Like
sometimes.
sharp angles like hurt my brain.
Dan tried to keep the time as well.
Yeah.
Try to keep on top of that.
Yeah.
You started the tour last night in Manchester?
Yeah.
So we were talking about first nights. So how was the first
It
night?
was incredible.
Dude, it was great. Dude, Manchester came out.
We've never headlined a
Manchester
show.
represent-
Most of these cities that we're playing, we've never headlined a show.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know what to expect, and I was just so happy. I mean, the venue was great, the crowd was amazing, and I mean, it was great. I mean, we had our technical difficulties and sound things, but it was the first night. Like, that's
You're
gonna
just
happen.
kind of figuring
you
things
know?
out. And when you're like flying from a foreign country, you kind
Yeah,
of,
we don't even have the right plugs to plug into things. There are like a lot of details.
yeah, like we're like going, we may blow up our electronics.
Yeah.
We had a couple electronics
today-
blow up today.
Yeah,
you know,
we're-
it's like,
like,
oh,
it's-
that popped and it smells like smoke.
Yeah.
It's not meant to do that.
Yeah, not playing
you're,
that tonight.
and you're flying with like the bare essentials because you're only allowed
Yeah.
like 50 pounds in however many bags, and so
Yeah.
you're just bringing.
No backup guitars.
But what's cool is like the band we're touring with, Royals. They're providing most of the back line,
Yeah.
and then we actually have a UK drummer that
Yeah, our friend Simon.
Our friend Simon, who we know from LA, who we know from like living in
20
LA.
years we have known him and never played
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Last
'Cause
night
he-
was our first show
Yeah.
together.
His band was a British band that moved to LA,
Yeah.
and we met them right when we moved to Los Angeles. And he was always like, if you ever need me to play in England. And then he came out to that tour that we were just here for, and he was like, let me know. And
Yeah.
so we're like,
It was
we're
cool.
coming.
Yeah.
And so we had our first rehearsal a couple days
We
ago,
had
and
never
last night was our
played
first
together.
show.
Yeah, we played
Great.
together twice so far.
Twice,
So
yeah.
tonight's the third night. The thing is, like, we've all been playing music for a long time, and
Yeah.
we just sent him the songs, and
He's
he learned
an
them.
exceptional drummer.
And he's
Like,
a really good
great,
drummer, so yeah.
Talking about first, you got a new single out as well.
We do have a
still-
brand new single,
still
only in the UK.
Oh,
This
Yeah.
is just for
Yeah,
you.
you can't even get it in the US.
Yeah.
We were like, well, the thing is, we recorded a record in January. It's
Yeah.
the next record, it's the new record, but it's not going to come out until like the fall.
Because to print vinyl
So-
takes 6 to 9 months.
Yeah.
And you know, and we gotta like set up a record. Like
Yeah.
it's not.
We'll do
it's
pre-sale
no small
and fun
task
stuff.
because we gotta really set it up and get the sequence and the songs
Yeah.
they're gonna get mastered pretty soon. But this one song was done,
Yeah.
and it was like right squeaking in at the last second.
I mean, I think
You know?
we literally turned it into like iTunes and Spotify the day before we got on the plane.
It was
And then it
something
went
like that.
live
It was, yes.
yesterday, I think,
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, it was like right at the cutoff.
Yeah.
It was like Kanye West like mixing a song until the last second and then releasing it.
But not at all like Kanye West.
That's
So-
a bad example, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah,
But yeah,
so
new
this
song
song,
out.
it's called Still Holding On, and
The
it's
thing is, we haven't learned it yet. We studio learned
It
it.
doesn't
So
matter.
No, but we're gonna try and play it by the end of tour.
what I'm saying is it's the first song that gives like an idea of what the record's gonna
Yeah.
sound like. So we recorded 14, 15, 16 songs. We'll
16.
we'll set a few aside as like B-sides or whatever.
Yeah.
And this one could have been a single, could have been an album track, and we were just like, well, or
It's
we're
done.
gonna just release it now.
Yeah.
It's done, and we hope that it gives people like a sense of the way the album's gonna sound, because the album is, I feel, I'm really proud of it already. You know, it's not even
my
done,
favorite.
but I'm really proud of it already.
Yeah.
And the themes are like, they're just a little more mature, but they're still like kind of sarcastic, and they're still silly, and it's still fun.
There's still love.
But we're in a different time in our life now,
Yeah.
and so I feel like the
we
album.
didn't want to write a COVID record either.
Yeah.
So
we didn't want to write quarantunes
we
or
just-
something like that,
we waited until
So
we could write
That's
not a COVID album.
yeah. So we had to.
There are definitely
mentally we had to wait until the
things,
end of
yeah.
all that stuff to be over, and get out on the road.
It's not over yet, bro.
Whatever, dude. And then we spent like most of last year touring and stuff, and
Yeah.
getting
Back at it.
familiarized
Yeah.
with just being around people and playing rock
Yeah.
music and getting inspired, whatever. And so this is like the product of that.
What's the live scene like in the US at the minute? So obviously the news is kind of peeled off because it's not over. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're aware of
That's
that.
it's been good. We were nervous when the first tour we went out. I was like, are people gonna feel safe coming out? Like,
To be honest,
But-
I think attendance has been up in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And I think that's just people, you know,
we're desperate
people
to
were
see
hungry
people and
to
be around humans
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
You know.
So, yeah, it pretty much is back to normal
Yeah.
in the U.S. And I think everyone just kind of like individually decides what kind of risk they're willing to take.
Yeah.
And
I mean, people are wearing masks at shows
Yeah.
and stuff, and
And-
I mean, I probably would, but it's hopeless. If I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get
Well,
it. Like
we're
in this situation,
we're
like,
in the band,
Yeah.
so like we're around all.
I gotta
all
take
the time
pictures. I gotta
anyway.
sing on stage. Like I can't be wearing a mask. So.
But yeah, if you're gonna go to a rock show and you want to mask up or whatever,
no
take
judgment here.
Yeah, we're like cool, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it seems to reach a point where it's a matter of choice now, and as long as you respect other people, which
Exactly.
it's fucking rock and roll. You
Yeah,
That's
respect
all it
other
is.
people.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's like you're
Who
willing to come to
cares?
a rock show. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't have that for 2 years, you know. Like I'm just happy to be here. Like
Because
that's
nobody gives a damn if you're wearing a dinner jacket or a leather jacket. Yes,
Yeah.
some people have an issue with you wearing a face mask.
Yeah.
Seriously, get over it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Should
It's
not
just
be a
such
thing.
a silly conversation that didn't even need to
Yeah.
happen. But yeah, we're just happy to be able to be out there, and that informs our music and
Yeah. It made us inspired to write again.
yeah, and it made
It was
us
hard to
inspired to
write
like
during
well
COVID.
because like we tried to write during COVID, but we just couldn't finish
Just couldn't
anything.
finish anything.
It's
I
like
mean, also, we have
getting
two
up with
little
like
kids.
20 ideas.
Yeah.
We're like homeschooling.
Our
and
kids
all this,
are-
like
They're 6 and 9.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
5 and 8. We did homeschool for a year, and I do a radio show. It's 5 days a week, 4 hours a
yeah,
day.
she's got a Sirius XM radio
And
show.
so
It's like
we
the morning
just-
show.
We were
Yeah.
just trying to live. Like we
Yeah.
were just trying to get through it.
Yes.
And
So finally
having
we're
little
like-
kids, it's all encompassing. So we would stay up all night and like try and be creative and work on the band stuff, but it just didn't come.
Can't
So,
quite get this
you
right.
know, just
Yeah.
finishing a song.
Mhm.
So then we were like, well, screw it.
But we had lots of starts.
We're just gonna like go to like fly to Minneapolis, meet up with our producer John Fields, who we've worked with for. It turns out it's
20-year
been this is the
anniversary.
20-year anniversary of working. We've done this is our 8th record,
Yeah.
and you know, finish the songs.
Yeah.
So take all those ideas that we had, boil them down in 5 days,
Yeah.
and cut 16 songs.
Yeah. And we did.
And we did it. And
In a blizzard, which was really
in a
awesome.
blizzard, and dude, we were writing the second verse while she was singing the first verse.
Yeah, it
Like
was.
I mean, it's like that's the way it went down because it's like, oh, this song needs a
which
second
was
verse.
perfect.
This song needs a bridge.
This song doesn't have
This
a
song-
bridge,
this
which
song-
actually like every song.
I mean,
didn't
a
have
couple of
bridge.
them like didn't even have a full chorus or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's just like, well, I guess we'll write it right
Let's
now.
go
And,
quick.
like, so it felt spontaneous. That's why
Yeah.
we can't play the song yet because we kind of gotta learn it.
Yeah.
Because it was written like there.
Yeah, it all happened
So-
real
But the
fast.
theory is by
Yeah.
the end of the tour here, you might be able to slide it in.
Thinking maybe.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least for the VIP,
Yeah.
like acoustic.
Yeah, we'll at least play it at the VIP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Cool, that's questions. Tell me you need to get yourself ready. And I've got
Yeah.
Don't Panic to talk to as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
The Dollyrots. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, we mentioned them a few times. I know what kids are like. Trust me.
Yeah.
How do you cope with those two on the road when you're touring? I mean, how do you keep
Oh,
your
man,
routine? How do you keep
they're-
busy? What do you
they've
do?
been-
They're so good.
Man, they've been touring since they were babies.
Yeah.
River's first tour, he was 3 months old. Black
Black
Flag
Flag
asked
in
us.
Southern
Black Flag-
California.
Black Flag, Southern California. They're like, hey, you guys want to, you know, support whatever.
And honestly, I mean, we've been together since we were 17. Like we were kids, and we always wanted to have children, but it was a matter of like, do we do the band or do we have a family? And so
Well, before River was born, it's like we sold the band.
we sold the van. We
like,
cried.
we
We
figured-
cleaned out our rehearsal space.
figured it was the
We're
end.
like, it's probably over,
And the
you
thing
know.
is, like, they from
But then we said yes to that
But
Black
then we
Flag
said
thing, and then we
yes.
said yes to the Bowling for Soup thing, and then
and we just kept saying yes,
Mm.
and it was like, well, but
And
he
it
could just come
worked.
along.
you know,
And then, you know, he goes from being a baby that sleeps all the time, and all of a sudden he's a toddler.
it's a toddler, it's
but-
mayhem.
But it's
Yeah.
still cool.
But yeah,
And then the people that tour with us, our crew, like they're like family.
yeah, they're all like
And the
uncle
bands
and aunt,
and
whoever.
the bands that we tour with, it's like Bowling for Soup. It's like it's Uncle Jarrett, you know.
Yeah,
And so you have this like support system that's family that
yeah,
is down with the kids being there,
it's kind of part of the package.
and that makes and people know that. It's
Yeah.
like you ask us to go, you know what's coming. Like you're gonna have
We're gonna have 2 kids in your dressing room.
You're gonna have 2
Pretty much.
very like no filter, hilarious,
They did learn to curse on tour,
hyper energetic.
but they never do it in front of like normal
But
life.
Obviously didn't get it from you.
Not
It's
us.
everybody else that did it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, being around a bunch of rock bands all the time, like
Yeah,
they,
but I mean, we're also selective about who they're around.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a tour nanny at all times, and you know that whole thing. But you know, it works out, and it's good for them.
I'm so grateful that it works, and their school is very supportive.
We
of
may
it.
be creating 2 monsters, though. We
I know,
don't
I know.
Like,
That's the next question. Are you actually prepping the Dolly Tots to take over
Yes.
from you guys later on?
I mean, it would be ideal.
It's some kind of like conspiracy theory,
No,
like
no.
Kiss World. Like,
there's no
Yeah.
conspiracy theory. I've said it, and I'm pretty sure that's the way it's headed. I don't think it's in our
I
control.
disagree, but I just want them to do whatever they want.
I'm just foreseeing the future because we kind of almost actively discourage them from being
Yeah, they have to take
musicians.
piano lessons, but we aren't.
We're like, you're
that's
taking
it.
piano. Like, I'm not like, hey, sit down and play the drums. Like, it's
No.
like we have music available at our
Well, I feel like rock and roll, it comes with a bit of disregard for authority, and so for your parent to make you rock and roll is just bizarre.
Like,
that
I
doesn't
don't,
make sense
I don't
to me.
understand the concept of like forcing your kid to play rock and roll. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
they
just
should
not gonna
almost
happen.
play it to spite you.
Yeah, like
You know?
they'll be like jazz musicians or some kind of
No,
fusion
it's like
jazz. Or
so.
something
So we
maybe, but
encourage them to do like we got River a 3D printer. It's like learn
he
this.
is into
You
that.
know, like Daisy is way into her make believe and her art and her like, you know, just being a girl. And it's
Yeah.
like we're not going to interrupt that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
Once a week for piano, we will.
they've seen this and they know this and they understand the system.
I kind of think River's
and they
going to be a
understand.
stand-up comedian, but
River, we do during our set have a segment where River comes up and does
You'll
stand-up
see.
comedy now.
So looking forward
So
to
that's
that.
his.
Last night-
That's his thing.
blew my mind. He blew
No,
my
he
mind.
like he really.
He has a new set. He didn't even tell us. Like
Yeah,
he was
he's got a
getting
new
new
set of
jokes.
jokes. He's been like thinking of new jokes.
But he stands up there with like such confidence,
Yeah.
and
So-
like he's not afraid of like pause. And he just sat there and like looked at them, and
It
then
was
he's
cool.
like, well, and then he told another joke. And I was like, his timing is impeccable. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how he knows how to do that.
Yeah, I don't
But-
know either.
But,
But the point
It's
is,
funny.
if they wanted to do it,
Yeah.
it would be cool.
yeah,
and
we'll
they-
help. I
And
mean,
we will support it, and I think it's all there if they
Yeah.
choose to.
Yeah.
And if they don't, it's not gonna really bother me because you know what? The life of a musician
I would
ain't so
rather than have
easy, man.
you know, something
You know?
easy and
It's like go
stable.
be an aeronautical engineer. Like
Yeah. How many degrees?
take care of me in my old age with your aeronautical engineering, like Space Force,
No,
like
no Space
whatever.
Force.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
So
So
it
it's
knows
like,
in 20 years' time it could be them.
It could be them sitting right here.
It could.
There's no telling.
yeah.
They'll need choosing it for Dolly Tots though, I think, by that age.
Yeah, I think what's it called?
You know,
the Dolly Knots.
Scott Simons thought of the Dolly Tot as
Yeah, our
the name
friend
for
Scott
it.
named
Our
him
friend
that.
Scott.
So funny.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. I know
Yeah.
you've
It's so great
get
to
it
talk
packed
with
up.
you.
Yeah, right on.
I'll chat to the next band and
Yeah, we'll send them in.
we'll see you.